Hello everybody, I hope you're well. I'm Callum at Repair Wins, and in the video today I'm going to be fixing this HP computer mouse. The problem with it is that it doesn't right click. So the left click works okay, the middle click works okay, it scrolls just fine and it has no issue when I move it about the desk, but whenever I try and create a new folder or duplicate my current tab or whatever else it is that I want to use the right click for, it doesn't work. Now to be clear, this mouse is ancient and it's not worth repairing. But as you know, they're the kind of devices I prefer to fix. If you don't believe me when I say it's ancient, then just take a look there. It has a trackball, and then furthermore, it has a PS2 connector as well. But regardless, it's perfectly serviceable for office use, so I don't see a reason to just, sling it in the bin, send it off to e-waste just because of a right click. Fingers crossed it's not a hard one to repair, so why not basically just take it apart and get it fixed? Here we are then, I've got it in front of me. If you've never taken one of these things apart before, it's dead simple. Although it does help to have the correct screwdriver bit. So usually it's just a Phillips head, and you'll take it out and it'll just be one screw, and then it will kind of open a little bit sort of like a chest, and it helps to throw the screw on the floor when you're trying to take it apart. That's really, that's something that will save you time. But here we go, look, trackball, little thing there that comes out. There's no screws hidden beneath it. I just, literally as simple as this. Yeah, there you go, that's come straight apart. But the point is, if I just remove this PCB, and this must be quite a cheap mouse because it's coming apart without any real effort. If I just take the mouse apart, we'll remove the PCB, I can set all of this off to the side, and what we're worried about is this right-hand switch. So the first thing to do is just use a multimeter, and that's going to tell me very quickly if it's clicking or not. If it is clicking and it's being detected, then that means it's a fault with possibly one of the resistors. Fingers crossed it's not with this chip, because if it's with this main chip here, it's obviously not going to get repaired, is it? So then, I've got my multimeter set to continuity mode, and as you know, that's the mode that beeps. So the theory is, if I just flip this over, I put the... there's 3 contact points, and only 2 of them are going to be connected, so I'm going to assume it's this one here and this one there. If I sort of hold the probes in place, and then push the button, we should hear a beep. Oh no, we do actually hear a beep, damn. Because if it's beeping, then that means that the switch actually works okay. Do the rest of them beep? So they're permanently connected. And then these 2 should beep when I click it. And they do. Do these 2 beep when I click? Yes, so this mouse here then, this and this should be permanently connected. And then this one and this one should beep. Yeah, and then does this one and this one? No, they don't. But if I recall, this one and this one do. And then this one and this one do. Right, so lucky for me, the switch is actually what's at fault, unless this lot's all connected together in some convoluted way. I will just quickly check the resistors over off camera, but I am fairly confident it's just this switch that's gone bad. I've taken a look in my box of tricks, and as you can see, I have plenty of spare switches. And what's nice is that because this is a really old mouse, it's a really, really common switch, sort of big and boxy. And I think I've got exactly the same part that I've obviously taken from another scrap computer mouse long ago. So that's nice. I thought I'd try and show the soldering off to you. So what I'm going to do is flip this over. I'll put a tiny bit of flux on here. This mouse is old. I can't remember exactly when they stopped using lead-free solder. Or should I say when they started using lead-free solder. But I'm hoping the stuff on here is lead-based because it'll be a lot easier to remove. I'm going to turn the soldering iron on. I've got it set to 370, and just to make my life really easy, I'm going to use some lead-free solder. Or should I say some low-melt solder. So I'm just putting the iron against the pin and against the solder on the board. I'm flowing the low-melt in, and if I'm really lucky, it'll basically just fall off. Because I'm hoping I don't have to use a bunch of solder wick and wick the old stuff away. If I kind of hold onto it and push away, there we go, this will come off without me needing to use the solder wick. Because then I can just wick the pads when I'm done, and it'll be really easy to get the new one on. Almost there. There you go, just like that. This one can go straight in the bin, and we can get the new one soldered in. Just to make my life as easy as possible, I'm going to wick away the old solder. This is a really good way to practice, by the way. If you try and basically remove the solder from a nice thin PCB like this, you really shouldn't have much trouble. Except for when the PCB jumps around on you. And I do have Hacker Omni vices, but I try and make the videos without my fancy tools because most of you at home don't have Hacker One devices, and if you do, you're not watching a video on how to repair a basic mouse. But there you go, that could not have been simpler. What I'm going to do now then is get the mouse. I'm going to put this button into position. I'm going to hold it down from behind. And now that I have a blob of solder on the tip, I can just press it into the middle pin. It's not wanting to flow into the middle pin, I'll try and flow it into the top one. And now that the switch is held in place, I can just get more solder on the end of the iron, pick it back up, hold the switch again, and then obviously just flow it into place. This is a fantastic beginner soldering project, although ironically, mine's proving to be a bit difficult. It's not really wanting to cooperate. Right, there you go, that's a nice solid solder joint. I'll just wait a moment and then do the one at the end, and then we can redo the one at the top. All that's left to do now is just take a cotton bud or a Q-tip and just, you know, clean away the excess. And when I say the excess, I mean we're cleaning away the excess flux. You don't want to leave a board swimming in flux. It's okay if there's a thin film on there, because to be honest, you're never going to manage to remove it all. But you don't want to leave it just covered in a thick, sticky layer, you know. Typically, I would test something after I've fixed it, but to be honest, this mouse is going to be so fast to put back together, I think I might as well just put it back together. So if I grab this and set it down into place, what I've done, by the way, is just quickly watched back the footage for how it came apart. And so I do recommend that when you're trying to fix something yourself, especially if it's something you're not familiar with, that you do record the process. Obviously, you don't have to put it on the internet, but it's handy to just know how these things go together, because I had a bit of confusion with the springs, and after watching the video back, I was like, oh, actually, that's quite simple. If I set this down like this, I can just put the spring on top. There we go, so that's now together. This clicks, scrolls the way you want it to, and then I just literally, well, get rid of this massive dust ball, and then you hinge the front under, click it down, and then obviously the screw can be screwed back in, although if you recall I dropped mine on the floor. So what I'll do first is I'll put the trackball in, and then I'll just pick the screw up and put it in off camera. The saga continues. Maybe I should have tested it before I put it back together, but this still isn't working. So you can see here, it says swap, basically left-handed mode. So I've enabled that because that'll let me test the right click, because the theory is when I right click, it's going to think I'm left clicking because, as you can see, it's swapped. But when I'm right clicking, or when I'm left clicking, nothing happens. So obviously this mouse has further issues. I've taken the mouse back apart and I think I've spotted the problem. So if I go here, you can see that this trace is actually broken. So it's almost like from all the years of being clicked down on, this pin has wiggled around sufficiently to break the connection between these two. So if I were to follow this trace, you can see it goes down to here. So I think all I really need to do is just run a bodge wire from there to there, and then we'll have a working mouse. Obviously you're going to want some fairly thin wire for doing a job like this, and you're going to want to make sure you have an organised work area. And I'm just going to flow solder directly into the end of the wire. I know that not everybody likes it when you do this, but I just want to melt a bit of the insulation and get it to recede so that I can then solder it directly down to the pin. So if I do something like that, and then I can solder this onto the pin, because you want to make sure the wire is as flat to the board and it's running as straight as possible. That's now soldered into place, and then it needs to get soldered to here. So I'll basically bend it around the corner. I can then snip it off using my wire cutters. There we go, and I can just do exactly the same thing. Flow some solder into the end. I think that's soldered down now. Bring it in nice and close stuck. Now the reason why you want a nice thin wire is so that it isn't just so that it isn't too thick and the board doesn't sit flat. Remember what I said about sitting flat? That's obviously no good, but luckily there's a tiny bit of slack in the wire, so hopefully I can just push this into the middle and then the board will sit down flat. Come on. Right, boom, there we are, now it's sat flat. And I can get the tweezers, I can make sure I'm holding it down, and then I can just push the wire into the little recess, so that's still sat flat. I can then get this piece, put it back in, I can put the spring back in, we can get the mouse back together, and I can give it another test. PS2, by the way, isn't hot pluggable, so if you have something that connects with PS2, you need to make sure you fully shut the machine down, then plug it back in, and then try it. Here we go then, the big reveal. Does the mouse actually work now? Da-da-da-da! It works perfectly fine. So I can left click, I can now right click. Very, very nice. And I'm going to assume the middle click still works as it did. I can actually test that again. Yep, there you go. Root came up at the top. I'll do it a few more times. I can now right click here and yeah, close tab. Close tab. I'm very pleased with that. Cheap, rubbish, worthless mouse, not worth fixing. I fixed it anyway.